Welcome to the agenda with me, Lasha Kingsley in Douala, Cameroon. Distant relationship could sometimes be very challenging, especially for married couples who have children. How can couples live happily even when they are not together? That's what we shall be focusing on today's edition of the program with no other person than prominent relationship coach, Dr. Fon Elizabeth. Stay with us. I'll be right back after this. Elizabeth, thank you so much for joining me once again on this edition of the program. It's been long, eh?
Yeah, it's been long. I mean, you were telling me 3 years. I'm surprised.
It's been long.
Yeah.
Welcome, madam.
Thank you very much, Lasha. Thank you.
Today we are focusing on a very, very important subject that many people nowadays, as a result of, the modernization, people getting to be working class women and working class men. And so family life has become very, very difficult for some couples who are separated. We just want to dwell more on that. And we are talking about how to live happily even when you are not with your partner in the same town or the same location. So that's what we want to find out from you today as a relationship coach. Can you throw more light on this topic? Recently you had a seminar which focused on that, Madam Fon Elizabeth.
Yeah, thank you, Kingsley. That is the reality of many couples living apart. They are married, but they are in different towns, and it can be very, very hard on the relationship if they are not conscious of the fact that their relationship is a peculiar one and that they need to put in place strategies to be able to circumvent the risks that come with such a relationship. I mean, I'm talking about them sitting down to talk about their relationship and take the commitment that even though they are apart, they will stay in that marriage and make it happy. It takes the two of them to have that commitment. When they have the commitment, then they start asking themselves, what strategies can we put in place to arrive at this vision of a happy, far distant relationship?
So let's look at this this very pertinent question. So how should couples stay apart but live happily? How should they stay apart? Most of them, this issue, when they are not there, maybe they have the urge of maybe wanting to have some sexual demands, but their partners are not beside them. So how do they live happily despite the fact that they are apart?
Kingsley, it starts with the mindset. When you have this commitment in your mind, you know that you are in this long-distance relationship. You are not going to have those comforts that people who live in the same house have. Then you start looking at your relationship. What are the advantages? Despite the fact that you don't have the comforts, somebody who will get up and, cook for you, clean for you as a wife, and somebody who will not be able to change the bulb in the room, do those manly things. What are the other advantages of your relationship? You love each other. You are committed to the relationship. You are looking to a higher vision. For how long are you going to stay apart? Maybe for 3, 4, 5 years. So you accept it. You internalize it. And you say, okay, we are going to go through this for 5 years for our higher good. Maybe we are putting aside money to do something better for our family. You talk about it, you explain it to the children, because the children need to understand why they are not together with mama and papa in the same house. They will go to school and their friends will be asking them, where's your dad? Where's your mom? Why are you people separated? The children should have that self-confidence.
Be able to explain.
To explain, tell the people that, hey, mama and papa, they are working towards a higher vision. Our vision is to keep aside money to do this. and do that. It's only for a short time. So it starts from there. Then, about the needs. You tell yourself that you will meet maybe once in a month, once in 2 months. It might even be in Cameroon and the other person is in Dubai. I've seen couples like that. One is in Congo, one is in Dubai.
Cameroon,
one in America,
Canada.
Cameroon, Canada. So you have couples like that. If you're going to meet every 6 months, the strategies that I would advise them to put in place is that they start communicating before they meet. You know, you express your love to each other. It's a daily thing. You express your love to each other. You talk. Now we have the phone. You use a bit of credit to be able to talk to each other every day. Pray with each other every day. I know couples that stay apart, but it's as if they are together. They get up in the morning, they say good morning to each other, they read the Bible together, they pray together. After that, they talk about their program for the day, and while they are working, they are talking to each other. They give highlights of their day, they come back home, they talk to each other, they pray together, and then they talk to the children. So they put the children on phone, they talk to the children, and they do that. Before they meet now, in say 6 months, they've already worked themselves up to a great reunion.
So how do you manage distraction? Because you might have distraction along the way, so, even when you guys are talking.
It means that even if the person were near you, you still have the distractions. You are not committed to the relationship. Have you not seen people in the same town, in the same house, sleeping on the same bed, having distractions?
This is serious.
It happens. So you're not going to tie a rope on a man and tie him to your side to keep him close to you. It's a matter of the man being committed to the relationship, you being committed to the relationship, and you people working together for that vision to have a faithful relationship. It's not a matter of distance.
So what do you have to tell women who believe that probably it is in the nature of men that they cannot, stay for a longer period of time without, getting another woman beside them for their sexual urge? Sometimes when they are calling their partner and they are not picking, they think that they are with another woman.
It's just the beliefs. And I would say that has come about because the devil wants to destroy marriages. Honestly, marriages were meant to be lived as a relationship, not a sex thing. Marriage is not based on sex. We have given too much recognition for sex. Sex is supposed to be tender, to be loving, to be giving. That is a real relationship. Sex is a physical thing. And so if we don't understand that we have to move from just physical sex to a relationship that you find pleasure in it, then you've lost it. Because it doesn't matter how much sex you have. If the relationship is not good, you've lost it. And so you can be apart, but you use your communication to build that relationship in such a way that it becomes something that you look up to and you say, this is something precious that we are building.
So what is the formula that you are proposing for those who feel insecure about their partners not being around them? Is there any ideal formula? I know at Tesho Family Center, you receive,
couples,
tons of couples every day to talk about their issues, in short, to solve their problems.
Yeah.
They cry to you every day. So is there any ideal formula?
Actually, every couple is unique. One formula will not fit all. And so when the couples come, we talk to them. We actually do long-distance counseling. You have the husband is in America, the wife is here. They have quarrels, conflicts. When they come on the phone, they spend their time quarreling. It happens. So we now see why they are quarreling. Maybe it's because of the fact that they are suspecting each other. So we teach them about positive communication, non-violent communication, how to express your needs, your emotional needs, how you're feeling. Because somebody might be accusing the other or insulting the other because they are feeling insecure. So you express your feelings. When I call you and I don't get you on the line, I feel worried. I think that you might be with somebody. When I ask you to do video call with me and you don't accept to do it, I worry because I think that you might be with some other person. And then the person will say, is that why you got angry? Because I wouldn't accept a video call from you. It was because of this and this and this. Now I understand. You know, Kingsley, that's how you build a relationship. You talk in a non-violent way. I answer in a non-violent way. We begin to understand each other. If not, we spend our time accusing. That's we climb into a cab. We say we climb into a cab. CAB.
Yes.
Yes.
Accusing, quarreling all the time?
Yes, quarreling all the time. So you don't need to do that. Express your needs, your emotional needs. The other person will listen. Active listening. And then say, I understand. When you understand the person, it solves half the problems, 50% of the problems.
But there are just some people that they are hard to be understood. You understand them today, they change. Tomorrow, they become
every human
some
being
other.
is different. There's no perfect human being.
Probably
and when you
somebody
get married,
you got married to today, 2 years or 1 year after, the person becomes something else.
You know why they change, Kingsley? Because your expectations are so high. You are thinking that you married a princess, a prince, and that they're going to be perfect all your married life. Why do you think they call the period after the marriage honeymoon?
Probably. Can you explain to our televiewers?
Because it's 1 month.
The period for enjoyment.
Honeymoon.
Probably.
1 month of enjoyment. After that, it's work. And that's why we romance writers, when they write the book, when the people fall in love, they say, and they live happily ever after. It's a lie. They should say, and they started working on their marriage after that. Because it's actually just around 1 month, 1 year of perfection, laughter, joy, everything. After that, hey.
The other parts begin to show.
Hey, what is this? And some young people panic. You know, they come to the center, they actually panic. Doctor, I think I made a mistake. This is not the girl I should have married. I think I made a mistake. This is not the boy I should have married. And I tell them, you know what? That's the perfect man for you. That's the perfect woman for you. You are not perfect yourself. Don't think you are perfect. Reduce your expectations. When you reduce your expectations and you focus on the positive, it's another exercise that we teach them at the center.
Okay, doctor, many young people listening to us, to us this time may want to know or have your opinion on this issue of dating on the internet or this distant relationship that people know themselves on the social media. What do you have to say to young girls, most of whom are using this medium or this channel of communication to, build their relationships?
I would tell them that if you use the social media, still do your homework. It doesn't stop you from doing your homework. Because I can go and take a picture of 30 years ago and put on social media and say, that's me. I'm looking for a man, not so. Yes. Yeah. And some man will fall in love with me. But that doesn't stop the man from investigating and saying, who is Dr. Fon now? Ask people who know Dr. Fon. Ask people who have lived with Dr. Fon to tell you about the real Dr. Fon. Chances are that somebody who was in school with me, somebody who has lived in the same neighborhood with me, who knows me will know about my second CV. Second CV is how you live your life. And they will tell you, this is the way the person is. So you take it or you leave it. I'm not saying that you will not marry the person, but at least you will know that these are the shortcomings that I need to live with, and mentally you're prepared to live with that. But there are some shortcomings that you might not be able to live with. Okay, stop. But don't just accept somebody on social media because the person has presented themselves as an angel, as a perfect person, and you just go in and marry the person. I mean, people can fall in love with people that they see on social media. Nothing wrong with that, but do your homework.
Okay, doctor, let's go back to our subject matter, which has to do with, we're focusing on married couples who are living apart. Long distance relationship, upbringing of children is supposed to be the responsibility of both parents.
Yeah.
Just imagine that the mother is with the children and the father is far off. There will be some points that will be lacking. Probably the mother might be shouting at the children, and the father probably does not want that. He wants to discipline the children in another way, and the father is not there. So how will the children grow up without being psychologically traumatized or not having the both parenting that they are supposed to receive from both parents? How do they manage that?
Kingsley, parenting is something that is so important. Personally, I think that there should be a subject in our high schools and universities called parenting. Because when you see the number of children that I receive at the center who are traumatized because of the way they were brought up, I think that we should look at parenting seriously. And one parent or both parents, it depends on the content of what you impact into the child. So, in our Tesho program, Team Spirit Holistic program, Papa is the team captain of the family team, Mama is the coach, and the children are the star players.
And now they have to play on the same pitch. The father is not there.
The father is not there.
The mother is somewhere else.
No problem. No problem at all. They understand that even though their father is not there, his effect, his presence is there with them. He communicates with them every time. He checks on what they do every day. You understand? And the mother and the father, they have one way of disciplining the children. You don't shout at the child for doing something wrong, and then the father comes in front of you, tells the children, you shouldn't have done that. That's not parenting. That's fighting in front of the children. And the children can play you people, dribble you people like football. When the children feel that you people are not together in the way you parent them, you know. There's a funny story with our children. Our first daughter, when she was in school, boarding school, her friend said, hey, do you know that if I want something from my mother, I will tell my father this. If I want something from my father, I'll tell my mother this.
That is dangerous.
Very dangerous. And our daughter said, oh, I'm not lucky. People are lucky, I'm not lucky. With my parents, if you say something to my mother, she will tell my father. If you tell my father, he will tell my mother. Children should know that the parents have one mouth, as we say in the village. When they understand that, it's easy to discipline them. You, both parents, can never be the same. One will be a disciplinarian, the other one will be the one that, you know, maybe pamper the children or the quiet one and things like that. You can never be the same. But the thing is that the children should understand that you too, they cannot come between you people.
So how do you manage that, even at a distance?
You go into your, if you are at a distance, you talk now. It's through the phone call. It's phone calls, video time. The children will look at their expression. When they ask something from Papa, say, go and ask your mother. Or they ask from Mama, say, okay, me and your father will talk about it and will give you people the answer. So it's about communication. But if you are together, get into your room, talk about it, and then come out and tell the children the same thing.
Okay, doctor, let's also talk about this aspect of charisma that you know, many women nowadays they are heading big institutions, and there was this myth in Africa that the woman's place was supposed to be in the kitchen, but this time around it's not still the case. We are seeing women who are heading very big institutions. What do you have to tell women who are charismatic or have talents, but they are shy to let out their talents to the world, or to sell out their talents to the world?
I'll tell women that you don't have to be a man. You don't have to compete with a man. You don't have to fight with a man. Just be you. God created you a woman with lots of talents. You are needed. Tell yourself that you are not in this world as an apology. God created you, sent you into this world for a purpose. Find that purpose and then exercise it. You need men to help you to find your purpose. I'm one of those who believes in teams. As a woman in a very powerful position, you need men and women with you to get to your vision, to get to your objective. There is no use thinking that the men are fighting you. Just see what you can do to make sure that the men understand that you're working together. And in my experience as a medical doctor, I mean, it started when I was in St. Bede's. I was the senior prefect for boys and girls without a boy counterpart. The boys wanted to go on strike. And I told them, you know what? I need the boys. I need you people. And then when I was in charge of the operating theater in Bonasama, I had an all-male team. And there was no problem at all. I let them understand that I needed them. And so every human being wants to be listened to, wants to be understood, wants to be valued, whether they are male or female. If you are a charismatic leader, listen to your people, understand them, value them, male or female. You need all of them, and you will succeed.
There's this tendency that when most women acquire enough education, their masters, PhD, they tend to look down on their husbands, especially those who got married when they were nothing.
The thing is that most men in Africa, we've grown up with the fact that a woman is supposed to be in the background, is the man who is ahead, and is supposed to be the one who is the light of the family. Right? Yes. Things have changed. Women are doing great things. Some of them even occupy posts that are higher than those of their husbands. Now it depends on the relationship that they have as husband and wife. They will understand each other that out there is professional, but in the house, you are still my own person. My team captain, I need you. The children are taught to obey their father, to respect their dad. It starts with the mother respecting the father, and the children will be able to copy. It starts from the way you talk to their father with respect, so they will know. I mean, there's this funny story. When we got married, they were calling my husband the husband of Dr. Fon, the husband of Dr. Fon. But the way I behaved, everyone knew that I respected this man. I still respect him. I worship the ground on which he walks because he's a good person, a really good person. It means that I take care of him emotionally, physically, everything. And I tell women, be present in the kitchen, be present in the living room, be
Despite your
present in the
big
bedroom.
doctorate degree, you put it under the bed or cupboard.
Be present for your husband so that he should have no doubt in his mind. If he goes out there when he's drinking with his friends and they tell him, that your woman, she does not even respect you, in his head, he knows, you people are just talking. You don't know the woman I'm married to. She's a submissive wife. I know my woman. You understand? So there are things that she has to do to make the man to know and be sure that that title out there is just the professional title at home. She is his woman.
Okay, doctor, and that's interesting. That's interesting there, and most of them are, most men are caught between these two worlds. Sometimes when they get married and they are contemplating between sending their wives to further their education, that fear is there that probably when they go ahead, they might not be the same wives that they used to be before acquiring the education. What is your message for men who think in that light?
I think they should think about the well-being of the family, and they should also further their education. Because they are not, you can't deny the fact that when you become something tomorrow, you are going somewhere, you want to be able to introduce your husband to people. He starts feeling insecure. He doesn't want to go out with you. He doesn't want to talk to your friends because maybe he cannot express himself well. I know how women are very articulate and so on. So you start having trouble. You want to go out, he says you cannot go because he cannot go with you. So if you are sending your wife to school, Kingsley, you two go for evening classes, or you go and write your O-levels, your A-levels, you do something to further your own education. Because you want to feel secure in yourself too.
Very important.
Yeah.
There's another, this aspect, we are still in line of distant relationship. There's this tendency that most men, some of them are sending their wives abroad now to go for greener pastures while they stay back in the country for those that are already comfortable back in the country. Is that a good move being taken by those men to do what they are doing?
It shouldn't be taken by the men alone. It's something that husband and wife sit and talk about it, even the grown-up children. Because if you do that without concerting in a family setting, you can be setting up yourselves for trouble. And in many cases, when the marriage was already shaky, they see it as an escape route, you see. Say, okay, let her go so that I can have my liberty. The children are big. We don't need each other again. So you need to really sit down and work on your relationship first and then decide what is it that you want to do with your time left together. Do you want the other person to go? What are the advantages? What are the disadvantages? What are the risks? How do you mitigate those risks? You need to talk about that so that when you come head on with the risks, you would have talked about it and you have the mechanisms to mitigate the risks. You don't just get up one day and say, Madam, pack your things and go to America or to Dubai so that you'll be sending me 1 million every month. If people don't have a good marriage, it will just break up the marriage.
Dr. Fon Elizabeth, you are a relationship coach and equally the GM of Tesho Family Center based here in Douala. Thank you so much for coming or honoring our invitation.
Thank you so much.
To talk about this very interesting topic that has to do with building family life in the country. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, Kingsley. God bless you.
You're welcome.
Welcome to a new